Okay. It's so nice to be here. Thanks for being here, everyone. So, I thought today we would start with some pranayama. So, I'll guide us into just settling into a seated position. You can either be in a cross legged position, or you could be, like I mentioned, in a position like this. And in either position, it could be nice to elevate the pelvis. So, just placing, I have this little meditation cushion. It could also be a pillow or a blanket, folded up blanket. A block could be nice, but if you do a block, then putting a blanket over the block is nice so it's not so hard. So I'll first guide us into just settling into the seated position, and then I'll guide us into some ujjayi breathing. And then we'll just do simple Viloma, which is to divide the breath. So we'll first start with dividing the exhale. So we'll exhale a little bit and pause, exhale a little bit and pause, exhale completely and hold, and then inhale. And then we'll focus on dividing the inhale. So dividing the inhale into 3 equal parts. So that means that we're going to slowly empty and slowly fill. And what that kind of shows us is how to slow down the breath, because we're kind of creating these marks, these points of where to pause as we're inhaling or exhaling. So I'll guide you through the whole thing. I just wanted to give you an idea of where we are going. And we'll just do those 2 techniques, dividing the exhale 3 times and then dividing the inhales 3 times. And we'll take ujjayi breaths in between to sort of reset. And then we'll stand up and do our asana practice. Okay, so find your comfortable seat if you haven't already. Elevate the hips if you want. You could also be directly on the floor. And you can also be in a chair with the feet on the floor. Wherever you are, try not to lean back on something, not leaning back on a wall or not leaning back on the back of a chair, but holding the spine straight by your own effort. And so we'll place the hands on the thighs gently, wherever the hands naturally land. And you can either have the eyes closed or half open, gazing somewhere on the floor in front of you. And I find everybody's different on what they need, what allows them to keep the attention on the breath without getting distracted. We're going to get distracted, it's natural. But which dristi, either eyes closed or eyes on the floor, is more supportive to this focused, concentrated mind on the breath? And so you can decide that. And if you're not sure, just choose one. I like to have the eyes half open, gazing somewhere on the floor in front of me, because if you lift the gaze, then that can maybe bring in too much into your field of vision, and that can be distracting. So minimizing distractions by turning the gaze downwards. We'll just take a couple of natural breaths here as you settle in. So allowing this moment of shifting from what you were doing before the practice, you're setting up, to this moment of beginning the practice. Just allow that settling, that arriving to happen on your mat, on your cushion. Feeling the pelvis and the legs making contact with the ground. All those points of contact. And through those points of contact, feel the weight of the body moving down through those points. So you feel the heaviness, the pressure as the body makes contact with the ground. That sense of stability, starting from the ground up. And feel through your senses, through sensation, from that stability, from that heaviness that's created by the points of contact the body is making with the ground. Feel a rising up and a sense of lightness coming through the spine, from the base of the spine, rising up all the way through the rib cage as you feel the rib cage floating above the pelvis. The back of the neck as the chin draws back and down. As the back of the neck lengthens. And all the way out through the crown of the head as you feel the skull floating above the rib cage. Releasing the tension behind the eyes. Releasing the tension in the throat. Softening the shoulders. And notice the breath. Feel the breath moving in and out through the nostrils. Noticing the breath as it moves in, as you inhale, and as it moves out, as you exhale. And for now, just noticing the natural pace of the breath. Showing you the state of the mind and the body in this moment. As you continue allowing the downward moving through the pelvis and the legs, and the upward moving through the spine and the crown. And gently over the next couple of breaths, we'll begin to introduce the Ujjayi breath. So making a gentle toning of the vocal cords. It's the same action you make in the throat when you whisper. But the mouth is closed, breathing in and out through the nostrils. And as you bring in the Ujjayi breath, you can allow the tip of the tongue to rest where the back of the teeth and the roof of the mouth meet. And allowing the rest of the tongue to relax away from the roof of the mouth, so you can feel releasing down to the root of the tongue. And with that, releasing the soft palate, relaxing the throat. So toning the vocal cords without over-engaging the throat, so that the Ujjayi breath is smooth and rhythmic. One that allows the breath to naturally unfold. So it's not so much where you're controlling the breath and forcing the breath, but you're just toning the vocal cords, allowing the breath to still have its natural, spontaneous movements. We'll also begin to move towards an even inhale and exhale, so matching the length of the inhales to the length of the exhales. As you bring a lift from the base of the pelvis. So you can start just by lifting just above the pubic bone. The lowest part of the lower belly. Like it feels like you're lifting the belly out of the pelvis. So just setting up our technique within which to observe and allow the breath. And with that lift just above the pubic bone, as you continue with the Ujjayi breath, as you inhale, see if you can allow the upper belly to expand and soften. So that with that lift and that drawing in of the lower belly, you're not sucking in the entire belly. You're only drawing in the lowest part of the lower belly, just above the pubic bone. And allowing the upper belly to be soft and expand so that the diaphragm could also fully expand. You could also imagine the lower ribs from the backside expanding. And if you don't feel this expansion happening, then maybe for now you can just imagine it. Using the imagination, using visualization to wake up a new awareness. We'll just take a few breaths like this together. So wherever you are, we'll meet at the bottom of the exhale, fully exhaling. And as we inhale, drawing the lower belly in and allowing the tailbone to be heavy. Exhale, releasing the soft palate, any tension in the throat as you reach through the crown. A couple more like that. Inhale, drawing the lowest part of the lower belly in and up, releasing the upper belly. Exhale, releasing the soft palate in the throat. Inhale. Feel free to go at your own pace if this pace doesn't work for you. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Two more. Inhale. Exhale. I'll move towards exhale Viloma. Inhale. Exhale a third of the way out. Hold. Exhale another third. Hold. Exhale to empty, completely exhaling. And pause. Hold the breath there as long as it's comfortable. Inhale. Feel free to go at your own pace again if you need to. At the top of the inhale, exhale third. Pause. Exhale third. Pause. Exhale to empty, completely emptying. And hold. Inhale. Smooth, slow, steady inhale all the way to the top. And for the last one, exhale third. Hold, pause. Exhale third. Pause. Exhale to empty. Hold. And when you're ready, smooth, steady breath in. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more like that. Inhale. Exhale as we prepare to divide the inhale. Completely exhaling. We'll inhale third. Pause. Inhale third. Pause. Inhale to full. And hold, feeling the fullness, expanding the rib cage. And when you're ready, gently exhale. Two more like that. Inhale third. Pause. Inhale third. Pause. Inhale to full. Hold. And when you're ready, gently exhaling. Again, feel free to go at your own pace now that you know the sequence. We'll do one more. Inhale, Viloma. Inhale, third. Pause. Inhale, third. Pause. Inhale to full. Hold. Lungs full. Softening. And gently exhale when you're ready. And we'll finish here with 3 Ujjayi breaths at your own pace. Keep lifting just above the pubic bone with the tone in the vocal cords, matching the length of the inhales to the length of the exhales. Finishing your last round of Ujjayi breathing. And over the next couple of breaths, gently release the technique, release the lower belly, release the tone in the vocal cords, and just allow the breath to be natural. Observing the residue. If the eyes are closed, you can gently open the eyes. Good, and gently make some movements with the body, just to ease into straighten the legs. And when you're ready, take your time in your own way. We'll come up to stand so we can begin our asana practice. Good. So come to Samastitihi. The big toes together and the heels slightly apart. And just take a moment here, maybe continuing to hold on to the residue from the breathing practice. Feel that grounding now, this time through the feet and the legs, and the rising up through the spine and the crown of the head. And again, feeling that internal sense of alignment, the skull floating above the rib cage and the rib cage floating above the pelvis. We'll bring the palms to heart center for the opening mantra. Inhale through the nose. Om Vande Gurunam Charanaravinda Sandarshita Swatma Sukhavabode Nishreyase Jangalikayamane Samsara Hala Hala Mohashantye Abahu Purushakaram Shankachakrasi Dharinam Sahasra Shirasam Shwetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Exhale, bring the arms back down to your side. And we'll start with Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, bringing the arms over your head, palms touch. Exhale, up and over with a long spine, fold forward, hands to the mat, bend the knees if you need to. Inhale into half lift. Hands can stay on the floor or come to the shins. Exhale, step back into a high plank. You can lower the knees and bend the elbows. Inhale into upward facing dog or cobra, just lifting the heart away from the floor, keeping the legs strong. We're taking this first one nice and easy. Exhale, Pressing back into downward facing dog, you can move through tabletop, tucking the toes and lifting the hips up and back. Good, and just settling into this first downward facing dog. After the first few movements of the practice, and coming back to the breath, the same breath we established in the seated practice, with the tone in the vocal cords, releasing the soft palate, and lifting in and up just above the pubic bone. So you feel that lift from the pelvic floor. Matching the length of the inhales to the length of the exhales. We'll take one more breath here. Fully exhaling, and as you exhale, bend the knees, drop the tailbone, gaze forward, empty of breath. Come to the top of the mat. Inhale as you half lift. Exhale to fold. Inhale, come to stand. Press down through the feet as you reach the arms up. Exhale into Samasthiti, floating the arms back down to your side. Again, like that. Inhale, shifting back into the heels as the palms press. Exhale as you fold, fully exhaling. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. You can lower the knees or keep them lifted as you bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Legs are strong. Lift the heart. Exhale into downward facing dog. Settling the mind on the breath. As you breathe in, maybe focusing on breathing into the backside. So breathing in between the shoulder blades. Breathing into the lower ribs. And again, expanding the upper belly. One more breath. And as you're exhaling, prepare to jump. Step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to stand. Press through the feet. Shift into the heels. Exhale, float the arms down as you keep reaching up through the crown of the head like you're swimming to the surface of the pool or an ocean. Again, inhale, arms over your head. Strong legs as you reach through the pinkies. Exhale as you fold. Fully exhaling. Inhale. Strong legs, press through the feet. Exhale, step or jump back. Keep the lower belly drawn in. Inhale, upward facing dog. Reach the toes back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Relaxing the neck, allowing the back of the neck to be long so you're gazing up towards the thighs, towards the navel. Wrapping the shoulder blades as you press through the hands. One more breath. As you're exhaling, bend the knees, drop the tailbone, gaze forward, step or jump. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to stand. Pressing down as you reach up and wrap the shoulder blades, elbows towards each other. Exhale, float the arms, reach the crown. Last one. Inhale, arms over your head. Exhale as you fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Slowly bend the elbows. Inhale. Upward facing dog, micro bend the elbows. Exhale, downward facing dog. Settling. Spreading the fingers wide, waking up the hands, waking up the feet. One more breath at your own pace. And as you're exhaling, bend the knees, drop the tailbone, gaze forward. Step or jump to the top. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come to stand, pressing down, reaching up. Exhale, Samasthiti. Surya Namaskara B. We'll do the first one with the extra breaths in between. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, keep the hips low as you reach up. Exhale, up and over to fold, straightening the legs as much as it's comfortable. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back through Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Lift the heart. Press the shoulders down. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, turn the left foot. Exhale, right foot forward. Inhale, Virabhadrasana, moving slowly. Exhale, frame the right foot. Inhale, high plank, strong plank. Exhale, slowly lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, turn the right foot. Exhale, left foot forward. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, bring the hands back down. Inhale, high plank, strong, stabilized. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. Settling here. Settling on the breath. Without forcing or straining the breath. Finding the longest, fullest breath in and fullest breath out. With no force. One more. Preparing. Step or jump. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees into Utkatasana, reach the arms. Exhale, Samasthiti. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knees. We'll go a little bit quicker this time. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, up and over. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take the extra breaths if you need to. Turn the left foot. Inhale, right foot forward. Coming up to Virabhadrasana. Exhale, come back down, step back and bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Turn the right foot, left foot forward. Inhale, Virabhadrasana. Exhale, stay with the breath and finish the exhale at the bottom of the plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Feel the body and mind beginning to open. One more breath. As you're exhaling, prepare, step or jump. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees and reach the arms. Utkatasana, tailbone is heavy. Exhale, push through the floor into Samasthiti. Padangusthasana, bring the feet hip-width distance apart. Hands to your hips. Inhale, deep breath in as you lift the heart. Exhale, fold with a long spine as you catch the big toes. And again, inhale, half lift. Lengthen the spine, engage the legs. Exhale, fold as you keep lengthening the spine. And at the very end, soften the back, very slightly rounding the spine. You can bend the knees here as much as you need to. Pressing behind the big toes, behind the pinky toes, and down through the center of the heels. Releasing along the spine, all the way through the neck, as you gently pull on the toes to reach the crown towards the floor. On your next inhale, straighten the arms, lengthen the spine, look up. Exhale into Padahastasana, slide the hands underneath the feet. Inhale, half lift, lengthen. Exhale, fold. And you're making as if you're going to pull the hands out from under the feet to gently pull the crown towards the floor. Legs are strong, bending the knees if you need to. Getting the entire hand underneath the foot. One more breath here, drawing the lower belly in. Inhale, look up. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, coming up into Samastitihi, top of the mat, feet together. Utthita Trikonasana, inhale, step the right foot back, arms out to the side. Exhale, pivot the right toes. Left foot is in at 45 degrees. Exhale, reach through the right hand and move into Trikonasana, bringing the hand wherever it makes sense for you, the shin, the big toe, or on a block behind you, behind the right foot. And then pressing evenly down through both feet, allowing the pelvis to be in any position that feels right. So you can allow the left side of the pelvis to roll forward or to reach back. As you root down through both feet and reach out through both hands. Let's take one more breath here. Keep feeling that lift above the pubic bone. Fully exhale on your next exhale. Coming up, inhale as you pivot the feet. Right foot at 45 degrees, left foot towards the front. And exhale, move into the left side. Feel that expansion all the way in. Pressing through the feet, reaching across both arms. Maybe gazing up towards the right fingers. And exploring the position of the pelvis. Settle into the breath. Continue feeling that lift above the pubic bone and the expansion of the upper belly. One more breath. Fully exhale. Empty of breath, come up, and then inhale the rest of the way up. Pivot around, face the back for the B position. You can widen the stance a little bit if you want more stability, bringing the left foot to the left a little bit. Inhale, reach the left arm up. Exhale, reach the left hand forward and down to the floor, either the outside of the foot or the inside of the foot. Rooting down through the fingertips or the palm, if we can get the palm down, and then reaching the right arm up. Opening across the heart, across the collarbones, reaching through both hands as you move into the twist. As you press evenly down through both feet. Smooth, steady breathing, gazing up towards the right hand or to the side. One more breath. And as you exhale, gaze down for balance. Fully exhale, coming up. Inhale, pivot around to the front. You can adjust the position of the legs, widening the stance. Exhale, reach forward through the right arm and down to the outside of the foot or the inside of the foot. And using that hand on the floor to press down and help you to move the torso into the twist. Feel the spine lengthening through both ends, the tailbone getting heavy and the heart reaching forward. Legs are strong and the feet are awake, rooting through the feet. One more breath. And as you exhale, on your next exhale, gaze down. Fully exhale, empty your breath. Start to rise up. Inhale, open to the side. Squeeze the heels in as you reach through the fingertips. Exhale into Samastitihi. Utthita Parshvakonasana. Inhale, step the right foot back. Pivot the right toes. Exhale, bend into the right knee and bring the forearm to the thigh or the right hand to the floor. If you want an extra challenge, just bring your fingertips to the floor so that you really use the strength of the legs to support the posture. Pressing the foot down into the mat, both feet down into the mat as you lift both arches of the feet. So then you also feel a lift from underneath the thighs as you keep that lower belly drawn in. And the side of the body lengthening as you reach through the left fingers. Good. Keep bending into the right knee. One more breath. Fully exhale. Coming up. Inhale. Pivot the feet. And exhale. Bend into the right knee. Keep the left knee. Keep the knee over the ankle. Find your variation. And feel that lift instead of that collapsing down into the joints. Use the connection with the earth to press down to feel the counteraction of lifting through the arches, lifting from underneath the thighs, lifting, that feeling of lift through the pelvis, and the feeling of creating space in the joints. One more here. Fully exhale, rising up, inhale. Pivot around for the B position. You can start with the back heel lifted or the back heel grounded or the knee grounded. Reach the left arm up, and as you exhale to twist, drop the tailbone around the spine, twist over to the right, bringing the elbow to the thigh, hands in prayer, or hand to the floor. Reaching the arm over your head. Maybe you started with the heel lifted and you can try to ground that back heel so the left foot is at 45 degrees, but keep the left arch lifting as you keep reaching through the right fingers. Drawing the lower belly in, but seeing if you can still breathe into the upper belly wherever it's available. Breathing into the backside. Smooth, steady breaths. One more here. And as you exhale, gaze down. Inhale. Switching to the other side. Reaching up through the right arm. Exhale, twist to the left as you round the spine, drop the tailbone. The hands in prayer is a really great option if you don't want to go as deep into the twist. Also gives the balance a bit more of a challenge since you don't have the hand supporting the foundation on the floor. Focus on the breathing, steady breathing. Find a drishti for one more. As you exhale, gaze down. Inhale, opening to the side. Squeeze the heels towards each other as you reach the fingertips away from each other. Exhale to Samastitihi. Prasarita Padottanasana. Inhale. Step the right foot back, hands to your hips. Exhale. Hands to the floor. Inhale, lengthen the spine, press through the feet. Exhale, fold forward. Maybe walking the hands back, crown of the head moving towards the floor. And you can explore how you're holding the sit bones. So you can either think about moving the sit bones away from each other and up, or you can think about moving the sit bones in towards each other, towards the center. So it'll depend too on if you're hyper flexible or if you're a little bit tighter. One will be more supportive or more beneficial than the other. If you're tighter, reach the sit bones up and away from each other. or at least making the intention to move in that direction. If you're hypermobile, think about drawing the sit bones in towards each other. And if you're not sure, maybe finding a balance. Let's take one more breath here. Inhale, look up and lengthen, straighten the arms. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, rising up. Exhale, settle. B, inhale, reach the arms to the side. Exhale, hands to the hips. Inhale, press to the feet, lift the heart. Exhale, fold forward and keep the hands on the hips. Again, you can keep exploring that relationship of the sit bones and how that affects the way the legs are interacting with the floor. The feet are interacting with the floor, and how stable or unstable it makes the posture feel. One more breath here. On your next inhale, rising up, exhaling at the top. C, inhale, reach the arms to the side. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale, a little bit of tension, reach the hands away from the body. Exhale, folds forward, maintaining that tension, but also releasing through the neck and the shoulders as the hands move away from the hips. And you could also micro bend the knees here. Sometimes that helps with the stability, combined with the movement of the sit bones. Maybe on the next exhale, if you can release a little bit more through the shoulders as the shoulder blades move away from each other. One more breath. Fully exhale, rising up, inhale. Exhale, hands to the hips. Last one, inhale, hands to the hips. Exhale, folds forward and catch the big toes. Inhale, lengthen the spine, root through the feet. Exhale, fold forward. Softening the grip on the toes. So again, there's a balance between tension and release. Observing the sensations in the legs. Releasing the neck. Focus on the breath. One more. Inhale. Look up and lengthen. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, rising up. Squeeze the heels towards each other. Exhale into Samasthiti. Parsvottanasana. Bring the hands into reverse prayer or bring the fists together behind the back. Step the right foot back. And again, you can move the left foot to the side a little bit for extra stability. Inhale. Lift the heart up. Press through both feet. Exhale, fold over the right leg as you clip the right hip back. Keep pressing through both feet. Settle into the breath, tone in the vocal cords, release the soft palate. One more breath. Fully exhale, rising up. Inhale, pivot around to the front, lift the heart. Exhale, fold. Waking up the legs, waking up the feet so that the legs are engaged, the front side of the legs and the back side of the legs. Maybe micro bending the knees. One more breath. Fully exhale, rising up. Inhale, opening to the side, squeezing the heels towards each other, releasing the hands. Exhale into Samasthiti. We'll do 2 more standing poses. Start with Utthita Hasta Padangustasana. So shifting into the left foot, hand to your hip. Finding the balance on the left foot, rooting through the foot as you reach through the crown. And as you pick up the right leg, you can either catch the knee or catch the big toe. Keep the shoulders over the hips, maybe straightening the leg. Maybe folding forward as you draw the right leg back and reach the heart forward. Good. Feel that left foot rooting through the earth as the left leg is strong. We'll take one more breath here. Inhale, lift back up if you folded. Exhale, bring it out to the side. Maybe at a diagonal, whatever feels right in the hip, to keep externally rotating into the hip, rolling that right thigh back and down without sinking into the left hip. Press through the left foot. Reach through the crown of the head as the tailbone stays heavy. One more breath. Inhale back to the center. Exhale, fold one more time or just stay here to stabilize. Inhale, we'll all bring both hands to the hips. Shoulders over the hips, hold the leg out. Good, drawing the lower belly in for 3. Relax the shoulders. 2. 1, exhale. Good. All right, shift into the right foot. Pressing through the foot, reaching through the crown. Again, so you're not like dumping into the right hip. Pick up the left leg, holding onto the knee or the big toe. And you can stay here. Or you can straighten the leg. Exhale, fold. See if you can move towards squaring the shoulders over the left leg. Good. Keep with the breath. One more here. Inhale. Lift back up. Exhale. Bring it out to the side. Gazing to the side and finding a drishti point. Again, feel that left leg, left thigh rolling back and down as you keep pressing through the right foot and reaching through the crown. One more breath here. Inhale, bring it back to the center. Exhale, fold or just hold it here. Inhale, both hands to your hips. Hold the leg out in space. Good. Find that internal alignment like we did in Samasthiti for 3, 2, deep breaths, and 1. Exhale, release. Good. Top of the mat, feet together. Inhale, arms over your head. Exhale, up and over to fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last standing pose. Jump both feet forward. Bend the knees and reach the arms up for Utkatasana. Sink the hips back and down as you reach the heart up. Reach through the pinkies. Maybe the palms are together. Good for 3. Steady breathing. 2. 1 more breath. And as you exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, half lift or Lolasana. Lift the feet. Exhale, step or jump back. Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. Legs straight out in front of you. Hands next to your hips. So we'll only have time for just a few seated postures. Finding a straight spine. And again, just like in the seated breathing practice, feel your connection to the earth and allow that downward moving energy to stabilize you as you feel into the body's connection with the earth. So the feet are awake, the legs are awake, the sit bones are rooting down. And then you feel the opposite of rising up, the lift, starting at the base of the pelvis, above the pubic bone, all the way through the spine as you drop the chin. Couple more breaths here, feeling into the residue from the standing postures. On your next exhale, fully exhale. Inhale, reach the arms up, like Ekam inhale, but the palms apart, but facing each other. And inhale, reach through the pinkies as you press through the sit bones. Exhale, fold as you catch the big toes. Inhale, keep all of that length. So keep lifting the heart, keep pressing through the sit bones. Exhale, finally folding forward as you keep the feet awake, reaching the base of the big toes forward as you pull back on the toes. You could also have the fingertips on the floor. Keep the legs strong. Perhaps focusing on breathing into the backside. And as you exhale, folding a bit deeper if there's space as you reach the heart forward. As you inhale, breathe into the backside. Legs are strong. As you exhale, reach the heart forward. Reach the base of the big toes forward. One more. Inhale, look up. Exhale, straight into Purvottanasana. Point the toes, rotate the pelvis under, and bring the hands behind the hips, fingertips pointing forward. Inhale, start to reach the tailbone forward as you press through the hands, lift the pelvis, and reach the toes to the floor. Maybe the chin stays towards the chest, or you look back. Keep pressing the hands down and back as you lift the pelvis and lift the heart between the shoulder blades. 2 more breaths. Keep the feet together, legs spiraling in. And exhale as you come back down. Good, let's take a vinyasa. Cross the shins. Inhale, roll over the feet or lift up. Exhale, step or jump back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. We're going to do 3 Navasanas. So, bring the knees to your chest, toes to the floor, bring the arms out to the side, and find that space between the sit bones and the sacrum where you can find some balance, where you can draw the lower belly in as you keep the heart lifted and the tailbone heavy. Staying here, or maybe lifting the feet, or maybe straining the legs. For 3, keep lifting the heart. 2, 1. Cross the shins, hands in front of the hips. You can keep the feet lifted or bringing them to the floor. Inhale, lift up. Shoulders come forward. Exhale, come down. Again. 1, 2, 3. Deep breaths. 4, 5. Cross the shins. Inhale, lift. Exhale, down. 1 more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift. This time, exhale, jump back or step back for vinyasa. Inhale, upward facing dog.
Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated for Baddha Konasana, bringing the feet together and pulling the legs in towards the body. And first with a straight spine. Again, feeling the sit bones rooting down, the tailbone heavy, the lift above the pubic bone, the heart lifting, the shoulder softening, and the chin slightly dropping down. Feeling the inner thighs releasing. If it's difficult to release the inner thighs, it could be helpful to place a support underneath the knees, blocks or blankets. Take a couple more breaths here. Deep breaths. One more breath. Folds forward, inhale. Exhale with the spine straight, reach the heart forward. Keep the tailbone dropping. So you feel like the spine is reaching through both ends, only going as far as it feels okay in the hips, in the inner thighs. Reaching through both ends of the spine, but now holding tension in the neck and the shoulders. Couple more breaths here. Inhale, coming up. And we'll do one more variation, B, bringing the feet a little bit away from the body, dropping the tailbone, and rounding the spine to bring the forehead towards the feet. Actively rounding and curling the spine. Breathing into the backside. Lifting above the pubic bone. One more breath. Inhale, curling back up. Exhale there. Let's take a vinyasa, cross the shins. Inhale, lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. Exhale, lie down on your back. And bend the knees and plant the feet alongside the outside edges of the hips. And we'll do bridge pose together first. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, reach the tailbone forward and the knees forward. Shrug the shoulders down to either catch the ankles or interlace the fingers. On your next inhale, push through the feet to lift the pelvis. As you keep reaching the knees forward and maybe in a little bit, so you feel the inner thighs dropping down to the floor as you press the back of the head into the mat, so the chest moves towards the chin. Using the leg strength to lift the pelvis. And the glutes can be on, but try not to squeeze the glutes so much in towards the center. Let's take one more deep breath in, and as you exhale, roll down the spine, one vertebrae at a time, spread the shoulder blades, and slowly roll down. So the sacrum is the last to touch. Inhale. Exhale, again, reach the tailbone forward to the knees forward. And if you'd like to go into Urdhva Dhanurasana, place the hands next to the ears. And when you're ready on the inhale, rising up. The hands, the fingertips can either be pointing back or angled out to the side a bit. So you can spread the shoulder blades. Spread the entire backside as you lengthen the front side of the body. Always going back into bridge pose if this is too much. Pressing through the feet, lifting through the sacrum. When you're ready, you can come back down. Same way we came down out of bridge pose. Do one more back bend. At your own pace, in your own way, hold it for 5 breaths. Whenever you're ready. And when you're done, you can release the back bend, maybe by hugging the knees into the chest. Just a couple more breaths here. And we'll do one final posture. Actually, 2 final postures. So, we'll straighten the legs, lying on your back. And just come into Matsyasana with the legs straight. So, catching the back of the thighs, pressing the elbows, and looking up towards the feet. And then, as you press the elbows, we'll lift the heart and move the sit bones away from the heels. Dropping the head back, maybe lowering the head to the floor. Keep pressing the elbows down like you're moving the shoulder blades towards each other to lift the heart. The legs are strong. Opening the throat. Breathing into the front side. One more breath. And then coming out the same way you came in, catch the back of the thighs, press the elbows, look towards the toes, rotate the pelvis, and lie flat on your back. Finding a strong, stable position lying down. So like you're standing in Samastitihi, the feet are flexed, the legs are strong. You can have the palms turned down next to the body. Bringing the chin perpendicular to the floor so that the back of the head is on the mat. And again, drawing the lower belly so that the lower back moves towards the floor. Allowing the rib cage to expand on the inhales. A stable yet relaxed posture. One more breath. As you exhale, let it all go. Just allow the palms to roll up. Allow the feet to roll out. Come into our final resting pose. Feeling the contrast from moments just before. We're drawing it in and holding it together. And now we're just releasing it, letting it all splay out. Completely releasing and giving in to the support of the earth. Feeling all the points of contact the body is making with the ground. And this time, Feeling the support from those points of contact. The earth holding the body up so that we can completely relax. Letting go of technique, of effort, letting go of judgment, of assessment. If you're ready to come out, you can begin to deepen the breath. And slowly wake up the body, moving your fingers, your toes, rocking the head side to side. Reaching the arms over your head for a deep inhale. And as you exhale, bend the knees and plant the feet. Falling over to either side.
When you're ready, slowly making your way back up to a seated position. Just take a moment here, closing the eyes or having the eyes half open. Settling. Feeling the residue. Feeling all that's present. The sensations rising and falling. The breath rising and falling. Bringing the palms together, Anjali Mudra. Swasti prajabhyaha paripalayantan nyayena margena mahim mahishaha go brahmanebhyaha shubhamastu nityam lokha samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, everyone.